The night was alive with glittering lights, the soft hum of expensive cars pulling up one by one, and the faint clinking of champagne glasses mixing with soft classical music. Ava stepped out of the sleek black car, her heels clicking softly against the marble floor of the grand estate. Her dress, a subtle shade of crimson that hugged her curves just right, made her stand out effortlessly in the crowd of impeccably dressed socialites. She wasn't here to just mingle. She was here on a mission, though even she didn't yet know what that mission might lead her to. Ava's eyes scanned the room with calculated curiosity. Wealth always fascinated her, but tonight, there was something different, something almost magnetic pulling her attention. The murmurs of the elite faded into a blur as she noticed a man standing near the grand staircase. He was impeccably dressed in a tailored black suit, his posture commanding, his gaze seemingly distant yet piercing. His presence was unusual. Not just another rich man, not just another charming smile. He carried an aura of mystery, and somehow, Ava could feel that this night would change everything. "Who is that?" a voice whispered beside her. Ava barely turned, offering a small, nonchalant shrug. "I don't know," and indeed, he was. Daniel had always been a man of secrets, a billionaire who played his life like a carefully orchestrated symphony, rarely seen in public, rarely photographed, rarely known. Yet tonight, something, or perhaps fate itself, seemed to have drawn him into Ava's orbit. Ava moved further into the crowd, holding her glass with delicate precision, her mind unable to shake off the sense that this man, Daniel, held some kind of invisible thread connecting to her life, though she had no idea what it could be. And then, as if the universe had decided it was time, their paths collided. She was turning a corner, eyes briefly meeting a small group of gossiping socialites, when she accidentally bumped into him. Champagne sloshed dangerously close to disaster, and in a swift motion, Daniel reached out, steadying the glass with a hand that felt colder than the surrounding air, yet somehow electric. "Careful," he said, his voice low, smooth, and almost hypnotic. There was no accusation, only a subtle intensity that made her heart skip a beat. Ava's cheeks flushed not just from embarrassment, but from an inexplicable rush of excitement. I'm so sorry," she stammered. "I didn't see." "It's fine," Daniel interrupted, a slight smirk playing on his lips. "But you should be more aware of your surroundings. In a place like this, a careless move can cost more than just a dress stain." Ava couldn't help but notice his gaze lingering on her for a heartbeat too long. There was something about the way he looked at her, not like she was another socialite to be dismissed, but like he was seeing her, truly seeing her. Her curiosity, mixed with an odd flutter of nerves, made her step slightly closer, though she had no real reason to. The rest of the evening passed in a blur. Ava found herself occasionally glancing at him, catching him staring at her once or twice before he quickly looked away. There was a tension in the air that neither of them spoke about, but it was palpable. And then came the moment that no one else noticed, the tiny flicker that would become the spark of everything. Ava wandered toward the balcony for some air, away from the pretentious laughter and small talk. Daniel was already there, standing at the railing, looking out over the city's twinkling skyline. She hesitated for a moment before approaching, unsure why she felt the sudden pull toward him. "It's beautiful tonight," she said softly, almost afraid he wouldn't respond. "It is," he murmured without turning, but his tone carried a weight that made her heart tighten. "But beauty is fleeting. What matters is what lies beneath." Ava's curiosity piqued, though she tried to hide it. "What do you mean?" Daniel finally turned, and the moonlight, catching the sharp angles of his face, made him appear almost untouchable. "What lies beneath?" often holds the most dangerous secrets. Things people don't want others to see. Things that can ruin lives if revealed. The chill in his words sent a shiver down Ava's spine, not from fear, but from an undeniable thrill. She didn't know why, but she trusted him already, even though she didn't even know him. Before she could ask more, a sudden commotion inside drew their attention. A group of socialites had gathered around a man who had collapsed, whispering urgently. Ava glanced back and then turned to Daniel. For the first time, he looked human, concerned, vulnerable, yet guarded. He offered her a hand. "Stay close," he said simply, and the touch sent an electric current through her. The night had already been unusual, but nothing could prepare her for what was about to unfold. Ava barely had a moment to register the strange, cryptic glance Daniel shot toward the crowd before a young woman, her expression sharp, almost threatening, approached him. Their conversation was hushed, but the tension between them screamed of secrets and lies. Ava could feel the invisible weight of what was being said, though she didn't understand the words. Then, in the midst of the chaos, Ava noticed something. A small envelope slipped from Daniel's pocket. It fell to the ground unnoticed. Her curiosity overcame her caution. Kneeling slightly, she picked it up, feeling the smooth texture of the paper, the subtle weight of its contents. Her pulse raced. Should she open it? Her fingers trembled, the temptation overwhelming. Inside, she found a single photograph and a name scribbled faintly in the corner. Her heart skipped. This wasn't just any photograph. It was a memory, a piece of Daniel's past, and somehow, it had a connection to her. She didn't understand yet. She didn't know the danger, or the secret, or the truth behind the man standing mere feet away. But one thing was certain, her life was about to change forever. The party ended abruptly for her, though the music still played inside. She excused herself under the pretense of feeling tired, her mind spinning with thoughts of Daniel, the envelope, and the unspoken tension lingering in the air. She walked away from the mansion, the city lights blurring as her mind raced. Who was Daniel? Why did he feel so familiar, yet so distant? And what was the secret he was hiding? That night, Ava couldn't sleep. The photograph burned in her mind. The words scribbled faintly on it whispered a promise, a mystery, and a warning. She knew she had to see him again. She didn't know how or why, but the pull between them was undeniable. Little did she know, Daniel was already watching from afar, unseen, his eyes following her every move. He knew she had found the envelope, and with that discovery, the game had truly begun. The night was far from over. Secrets, lies, and forbidden attraction were now intertwined, and Ava's heart had unknowingly stepped into a world of intrigue, romance, and danger, one from which she could never return unchanged. The morning sun streamed through the tall windows of Ava's apartment, but she barely noticed it. Her thoughts were consumed by the events of the previous night. That photograph, that scribbled name, that man Daniel. She replayed their encounter over and over, the memory of his piercing gaze, the brief touch of his hand when he steadied her, the enigmatic words he had whispered. Everything about him screamed danger, allure, and a mystery she couldn't resist. Ava paced her room, the photograph clutched tightly in her hand. Her mind raced. Who was he? Why did that envelope fall into her hands? And why, despite knowing almost nothing about him, did she feel drawn to him, as if some invisible thread connected them? She tried to shake the thoughts away, telling herself to focus on work, on friends, on anything, but the pull was relentless. Meanwhile, across town, Daniel stood by the floor-to-ceiling windows of his penthouse. The city sprawled beneath him, like a living, breathing organism. He wasn't concerned with the traffic, the lights, or the busy lives of thousands. His mind was only on her. Ava. She had found the envelope, and that single act had changed everything. Daniel had spent years protecting his secrets, carefully isolating himself from the world. Yet here was this girl, unassuming, bold, curious already, stepping into his life in ways he couldn't control. He picked up his phone and stared at it, debating whether to call her, send a message, or remain in the shadows. His fingers hovered over the keypad, tension tightening in his chest. Every instinct screamed that getting involved with her was dangerous. Yet another voice, one he rarely listened to, urged him forward. She was unlike anyone he had ever met, and somehow, he wanted her. She jumped slightly, heart racing, and picked it up. It was a text from an unknown number. "We need to meet. Don't bring anyone." Her pulse quickened. Could it be him? Was it someone else? The photograph had no clues about the sender, only the faint scrawl of a name she didn't recognize. Curiosity, excitement, and fear collided inside her. Against every rational thought, she found herself typing a reply. "Where?" "The old marina. 9 p.m. Come alone." The hours until night passed in a blur. Ava tried to keep herself busy, but every sound, every shadow, every notification from her phone made her heart jump. By the time evening arrived, her nerves were taut, her curiosity almost unbearable. She dressed carefully, selecting a simple yet elegant outfit that allowed her freedom of movement but still reflected her confidence. The short skirt and fitted blouse she chose highlighted her curves subtly, but she hardly noticed her appearance anymore. All that mattered was the unknown waiting for her. When she arrived at the marina, the moonlight reflected off the water, casting rippling patterns on the dock. The place was almost deserted, with only a few boats bobbing gently in the harbor. Ava's footsteps echoed against the wooden planks as she approached the designated spot. Her heart pounded in her chest, and 1,000 scenarios played in her mind. Was this a trap? Was someone watching her? Or was it Daniel? And then he appeared. Daniel, emerging from the shadows, his presence commanding and calm, yet layered with an intensity that made her stomach twist. He was closer now, the moonlight highlighting the sharp lines of his face, the depth of his eyes, the subtle tension in his posture. For a brief moment, Ava forgot to breathe. He looked at her, his gaze unwavering, unreadable, yet there was a hint of something softer beneath the armor. "Why did you follow the envelope?" he asked, his voice low, almost a whisper carried by the gentle night breeze. Ava swallowed hard. It fell into my hands." Daniel studied her for a long moment, his eyes scanning her, as if trying to decipher whether she was lying or truly innocent. Then, with a deliberate motion, he stepped closer. The space between them closed, and Ava felt the electricity crackle in the air. Her pulse raced, her palms slightly sweaty, yet she felt no fear, only anticipation. "You shouldn't have seen that," he said quietly, almost regretfully. "What's inside that envelope? It changes everything." "I need to know," Ava replied firmly, though her voice carried a tremor. "I need to understand why it matters. Why you? Why this feels like it's about me." Daniel's jaw tightened. He was conflicted, torn between his need to protect her and the undeniable pull toward her. Finally, he spoke. "Some truths are dangerous, and some people can't be trusted." Ava stepped closer, her hand brushing lightly against his arm. "Then let me decide. Let me choose whether I can be trusted." For the first time, Daniel's walls wavered. He allowed a fraction of his true emotions to surfacing, almost imperceptible smile, a slight softening in his eyes. In that moment, they weren't billionaire and socialite, or protector and intruder. They were two souls caught in an intricate dance, balancing between risk and desire. And then, just as the tension reached its peak, A sudden noise echoed across the dock. Ava jumped, and Daniel instinctively moved closer, shielding her. From the shadows, a figure emerged, a woman, her expression sharp, her movements deliberate. She was stunning, dressed impeccably, but her eyes were cold, almost predatory. "You shouldn't be here," she said, her voice like ice. "He's mine." Ava's heart sank, and Daniel's jaw clenched. This was more than just a love story. This was a web of past entanglements, dangerous liaisons, and secrets that could shatter lives. The woman's presence added a new layer of tension, a clear warning that nothing was simple, and every choice had consequences. The trio stood there for a moment, silence thick with unspoken words. Ava realized, in a chilling flash, that her curiosity had led her into a world far beyond the ordinary, a world of power, desire, and danger. And yet, she couldn't turn back. Not now, not after feeling the pull toward Daniel. As the night deepened, Daniel's hand brushed against hers, not in the protective manner he had used before, but in a way that conveyed silent promise, a connection neither of them could deny. The air between them was charged, hearts synchronized in a rhythm that spoke of temptation, trust, and the unspoken question, could they survive the secrets that threatened to consume them both? Ava looked into his eyes, searching for answers, finding only fragments that made her want to trust him, even if every instinct screamed caution. She realized something profound: she was falling, not for a man, but for the enigma he embodied. And just as the first hint of dawn crept over the horizon, Daniel whispered, "Whatever happens next, don't trust anyone blindly. Not me, not her, not even yourself." Ava's chest tightened, but she nodded. She didn't fully understand, yet she knew she was in too deep. The seeds of love, suspense, and danger had been planted. The game had begun, and there was no turning back. The city lights shimmered on the rain-soaked streets as Ava left the marina, her mind still tangled in the night's events. Daniel's warning echoed in her ears. Don't trust anyone blindly. Not me, not her, not even yourself. But how could she resist him? How could she step back when every fiber of her being screamed to be closer, to understand him, to unravel the mystery that drew them together so irresistibly? Ava's apartment felt suffocating, a cage of unanswered questions and unspoken desires. She tossed the envelope on the table, the photograph sliding across its surface. She studied it again, Daniel's sharp features, the confident stance, and the unyielding eyes that seemed to penetrate her very soul. Every detail called to her, whispering secrets she wasn't sure she was ready to hear. Her phone vibrated. Another message. Unknown number. "You have no idea what you've stumbled into. Meet me tomorrow, the botanical garden." Ava's heart raced. Each message pulled her deeper into this web of intrigue, danger, and attraction. She felt like a moth circling a flameware of the risk, yet incapable of retreating. The next day, the botanical garden was quiet, almost deserted. The late morning sun filtered through the tall trees, casting dappled shadows on the gravel paths. Ava's steps were cautious but determined. She scanned the garden, the fragrance of blooming flowers mixing with the tension in her chest. From behind a fountain, a figure emerged. It wasn't Daniel, though he soon appeared, silently stepping out of the shadows, his presence magnetic and commanding. But this time, he was not alone. Beside him was the woman from the marina, the one who had declared him hers. She stood with an air of poised menace, her eyes never leaving Ava, her expression unreadable. "Daniel," Ava said, her voice trembling slightly. "What is going on? Who is she?" Daniel's gaze shifted between them, tension tightening his jaw. "Her name is Amelia. She's part of the past I thought I'd left behind. You need to stay out of this." Amelia smiled, but it was cold, calculating. Stay out of what? Ava, you've already crossed a line. Now you're in my world. Ava swallowed hard, the chill in Amelia's tone making her shiver. And yet, Daniel's presence beside her ignited a warmth she couldn't ignore. His hand brushed against hers briefly, yet purposefully, and she felt her pulse jump. The pull was undeniable. The dangerous, forbidden connection between them crackled in the air like static electricity, leaving her breathless. Later that evening, Ava's thoughts couldn't escape Daniel. She replayed the way his eyes softened when he looked at her, the protective tension in his movements, and the faint, almost imperceptible smile that suggested he was slowly letting her into his world. She knew she was falling for him, for the mystery he carried, and for the intensity of the connection that neither could deny. Her phone buzzed again. This time, it was Daniel. "Meet me. Midnight. The old clock tower." The message was brief, precise, and shrouded in mystery, the perfect bait to pull her further into his life. Ava hesitated only for a moment before replying. The clock tower loomed ahead, an ancient structure bathed in silver moonlight. The air was heavy with anticipation, the sounds of the city fading into a distant hum. Daniel was waiting, leaning against the stone railing, his silhouette outlined by the glow of the full moon. "You shouldn't have come alone," he murmured as she approached. His voice carried concern, danger, and an emotion he tried hard to suppress. "I had to," Ava replied, her tone firm despite the tremor in her voice. "I can't walk away from this. From you." Daniel studied her, his eyes intense. Then, without another word, he closed the distance between them. The space between them vanished, and his hands cupped her face gently but possessively. Ava's breath hitched as their lips met softly at first, testing, exploring, then deeper, more urgent. The kiss was electric, igniting a fire that neither wanted to extinguish. Her fingers tangled in his hair, pulling him closer. Daniel's hands roamed her back, holding her with a mix of desire and desperation. It wasn't just a kiss, it was a collision of emotions, a silent promise, a dangerous surrender. Every nerve in her body ignited, every doubt eclipsed by the intensity of the moment. Yet, even in the passion, there was a shadow. Daniel pulled back slightly, his forehead resting against hers. "You don't understand what's coming," he whispered. "This world I live in, it's not safe for you. Not yet." "I don't care," Ava said breathlessly. "I want to be here, with you." And for a brief, fleeting moment, Daniel allowed himself to believe her, to imagine a world where they could exist without secrets, without danger, without Amelia and the past haunting them. But danger was never far behind. A rustle in the shadows caught their attention. Daniel's body tensed, his hand gripping Ava's wrist as he pulled her behind the stone railing. From the darkness, a figure emerged, masked, silent, and carrying a presence that screamed threat. Ava's heart pounded in her chest as Daniel positioned himself protectively in front of her. "Stay close to me," he ordered quietly. The masked figure approached, slow and deliberate, and Ava could feel the tension radiating off Daniel like electricity. Then, in a sudden, shocking movement, the figure tossed a small envelope onto the ground and disappeared into the night. Daniel picked it up, his expression unreadable. "You weren't supposed to see this yet," he muttered, opening the envelope to reveal a photograph that made Ava gasp. It was a picture of the Maeva and Daniel taken from afar, their kiss captured in a moment of intimacy. Someone had been watching. Someone knew everything. Ava's chest tightened with fear, yet her hand instinctively found his. Who would do this?" she whispered. Daniel didn't answer immediately. His eyes darkened with a storm of emotions, anger, fear, and something deeper, longing to protect her at all costs. "It doesn't matter who," he said finally. "What matters is that you're here, with me. And I won't let anyone hurt you." They stood together, hearts pounding, breaths synchronized, connected not just by desire, but by the threat that loomed over them. The city slept around them, unaware of the dangerous game that had just begun. And in that moment, Ava realized something profound. Love wasn't just about tenderness, it was about trust, courage, and surrender. She didn't know what lay ahead, but she knew she wanted to face it with Daniel. No matter the risk, no matter the secrets, no matter the shadows. The next morning, Ava woke to a city still shrouded in mist. A delicate gray light filtering through the curtains of her apartment. The photograph from the clock tower lay on her nightstand, mocking her with the truth she couldn't ignore. Someone had been watching them. Someone had captured their most intimate moment and had the audacity to send it directly to Daniel and to her. Fear, confusion, and anger churned inside her. But there was something else too. A fierce, undeniable pull toward Daniel, stronger now because danger had brushed so close. She picked up her phone. Daniel hadn't messaged. His silence was deafening. The unspoken words between them were louder than any text could ever convey. Ava wrapped herself in a blanket, heart racing, mind spinning with questions that had no answers. She knew she needed him. She needed to see him, to hear his voice, to feel his presence. Then the call came. "Meet me. Tonight." The old warehouse district. Ava's pulse jumped. The city was a maze of possibilities, shadows, and hidden threats, and yet she didn't hesitate. She couldn't. Not when the connection between them had become this intense, this consuming. As dusk settled, Ava walked the dimly lit streets toward the warehouse district. Neon signs flickered in the distance, reflecting off puddles from a recent rain, giving the area an otherworldly glow. Her senses were heightened, each creaking sign, each distant footstep setting her nerves on edge. Daniel was there, leaning against a rusted metal beam, his silhouette sharp and commanding in the fading light. His eyes met hers instantly, a mixture of relief, worry, and something far more intimate. She felt it again, that pull, magnetic, irresistible. As though nothing in the world could exist between them except the two of them. "You shouldn't have come alone," Daniel said, his voice low, almost a growl. The words were a warning, but the way he looked at her made it sound like a plea. "I can handle myself," Ava replied, trying to mask the tremor in her voice. "I needed to see you. I needed to know what's happening." He studied her, then nodded, as if silently acknowledging her courage and recklessness. The warehouse was empty, silent except for the hum of the city beyond its walls. And yet, the air felt heavy with secrets. Daniel guided her to a corner where crates formed a makeshift barrier. He lowered his voice. "You need to trust me completely," he said. "There's more at stake than you realize. That photograph, it's just the beginning. Someone wants to control me, control us, and they won't stop until they succeed. I've kept you at a distance to protect you, but now, it's too late." Ava's heart pounded, not just from fear, but from the intensity of his gaze. The way his hand brushed against hers, sending electric shivers up her spine. "Then, tell me. I can handle the truth," she said, determination threading through her voice. Daniel took a deep breath. "Amelia, she's dangerous. And she's not working alone. There's someone else, someone from my past, someone who knows every weakness, every secret, and they've been watching us, waiting for the perfect moment to strike." A shiver ran down Ava's spine, but alongside the fear was something far stronger. The danger, the forbidden nature of their relationship, made every glance, every touch, every word between them more intoxicating. As the tension escalated, Daniel pulled her close. Their lips met again, softer this time, lingering, tasting, memorizing. Ava's hands roamed his back, tracing the muscles she had only glimpsed in passing before. The kiss deepened, a silent vow that no matter the threats, no matter the secrets, they were bound together. But even in the intimacy, there was an unspoken question. Could love survive in a world so saturated with lies, betrayal, and danger? Suddenly, a noise from the far end of the warehouse shattered the fragile bubble of their moment. Daniel's eyes snapped open. He moved in front of Ava, protective, vigilant. A shadow emerged from behind a stack of Kreza figure, familiar yet terrifying. "Amelia," Daniel muttered, tension cutting through his calm demeanor like a knife. Amelia stepped into the dim light, her posture confident, her eyes sharp and calculating. "You thought you could keep secrets from me?" she said, her voice icy. "You thought I wouldn't find her? That I wouldn't see you with her?" Ava's heart raced. Every instinct screamed to run, to escape. Yet she couldn't tear her eyes away from Daniel. She felt his hand tighten around hers, a silent anchor in the storm. "Stay behind me," he commanded. "Do not move." Amelia smirked. "Why? You're not fast enough to stop me anyway." "And you," she said, her gaze flicking to Ava, "you're in over your head. Dangerous games have consequences." The tension was palpable, thick enough to touch. Ava's pulse thundered in her ears, a mix of fear and exhilaration. She wanted to scream, to beg Daniel to take her away from this nightmare, but part of her wanted to stand there, shoulder to shoulder with him, facing the danger together. Daniel's lips found hers once more, a stolen kiss amidst the chaos, a promise that whatever came next, they would face it together. Ava's hands clung to him, not just in desire, but in trust, in defiance, in love. The kiss broke, but the connection remained, taut and electrifying. "You're not going to get away with this," Daniel said, voice low, dangerous. "Oh, but I already have," Amelia replied. Her eyes glinted with malice and mischief. "And this is just the beginning." Ava's stomach sank. The game had shifted. The stakes were higher. And now, more than ever, she realized that being close to Daniel meant being in the eye of a storm she didn't fully understand, but she couldn't turn away. Not now. Not ever. The city never slept, but Ava felt like the night had swallowed her whole. The encounter at the warehouse haunted her every step. Every shadow seemed to stretch toward her. Every whisper of the wind felt like Amelia's taunting voice. Yet, amid the fear and adrenaline, there was Daniel, his presence a lifeline, a beacon in the storm. She remembered the weight of his hands on hers, the intensity in his gaze, the softness of his lips, despite the chaos around them. The memory was intoxicating, nearly enough to make her forget the danger looming over them. But she couldn't. She had to be strong. They both had to. Her phone vibrated. "Daniel, meet me. Downtown, midnight." "We can't wait any longer." Ava's stomach flipped. Midnight, downtown. That could be a trap. Yet, something in Daniel's message spoke of urgency and trust. She knew she had to go. The streets of downtown were almost deserted, lit by flickering street lamps, casting long, distorted shadows. The city felt different at this hour, mysterious, unpredictable, alive. Ava's heels clicked against the wet pavement, each step echoing like a heartbeat. Daniel was waiting near an abandoned cafe, leaning casually against the wall. But his posture was tense, muscles coiled like a predator ready to strike. As Ava approached, his eyes softened slightly, but the tension didn't leave his shoulders. "You shouldn't be here," he murmured, pulling her closer, his hand brushing hers. "It's dangerous." "I don't care about danger," Ava said, trying to mask the tremor in her voice. I care about you. About us. Daniel's gaze softened, just for a moment, and then hardened again. I need to tell you everything. There's no more hiding. They found a secluded alley, the glow of the neon signs casting a surreal light around them. Daniel's voice was low, urgent, heavy with the weight of unspoken truths. There's someone I never told you about. My brother. Daniel's eyes searched hers, seeing her confusion, her curiosity. He's complicated. He made decisions in the past that haunt me now, and Amelia. She's using them to manipulate everything. She knows exactly where to strike, how to hurt me, and she's playing a dangerous game. Ava's heart ached for him. She reached out, brushing her fingers along his jaw, feeling the tension in his muscles. I don't care about the past, she whispered. I care about now. I care about you. Daniel's lips found hers in a kiss that was both desperate and tender. A mixture of longing, relief, and unspoken promises. Her hands roamed his back, tracing every contour, memorizing every line, every detail. The kiss deepened, an affirmation of connection, a silent vow that they would face whatever came next together. But the moment of intimacy was shattered by the sudden sound of footsteps echoing in the alley. Daniel's head snapped up, eyes scanning the darkness. He pulled Ava behind a dumpster, pressing her against the cold metal as his hand gripped hers. A shadow emerged, and Ava's breath caught. It was Amelia, her expression twisted with satisfaction. You really thought you could hide from me? Amelia's voice was icy, venomous. You think he can protect you? You're both so naive. Daniel stepped in front of Ava, his stance protective. Stay quiet, he commanded. Don't make a sound. Amelia smirked, circling them like a predator. You have no idea what's coming. Every move you make, every choice, I'm already 3 steps ahead. And you, she said, looking at Ava, you're just a pawn in a much bigger game. Ava's mind raced. She wanted to run, to flee, but the magnetic pull toward Daniel anchored her in place. She felt his hand tighten around hers, a silent reassurance. We can do this, he whispered. Together. Amelia's smile widened. Oh, you really believe that? Then let us see how far your love can take you when the stakes are life and death. Suddenly, the alley lights flickered, casting ominous shadows. A black car screeched to a halt at the end of the street. 2 figures jumped out masked, armed, and clearly on Amelia's side. Daniel's instincts kicked in. He pushed Ava behind him and drew her close, whispering, "Stay calm. Trust me." What followed was chaos. Daniel and Ava moved in perfect sync, ducking, weaving, narrowly avoiding the masked figures. The danger intensified their connection, the fear fueling a heightened intimacy. At one point, Ava stumbled, and Daniel caught her, pressing her against him. Their faces were inches apart, breaths mingling, hearts racing. You okay? He asked, his voice low, full of concern and longing. Ava nodded, her lips brushing his in a quick, fiery kiss that spoke volumes more than words ever could. I'm fine, as long as I'm with you. They managed to lose the pursuers temporarily, ducking into an underground passageway. Their breathing was ragged, hearts pounding, but the relief of momentary safety gave way to another, deeper emotion: love, raw and unfiltered. Daniel pulled Ava into a quiet corner, holding her close. I've never felt this way about anyone, he confessed, his voice trembling slightly. You make me want to be better, to fight harder, to survive. For you. Ava's eyes filled with tears. I've never felt like this before either. I don't care about the danger, the secrets, or the past. I care about you. Only you. They kissed again, longer this time, desperate, consuming. A moment of pure connection amid the chaos. Every touch, every sigh, every glance was magnified by the fear that hung over them. But the calm didn't last. A sudden noise, a metallic clang echoed through the passage. Daniel's eyes darted toward the sound, tension coiling in his muscles. He pushed Ava behind him, scanning the shadows. Then Amelia appeared, stepping from the darkness, holding something in her hands, a folder, thick with documents and photographs. "You think you can escape the past?" she sneered. "It's all here. Every secret, every lie, every mistake, and soon, everyone will know." Ava's heart sank. Daniel's jaw tightened, his protective instincts flaring. "You'll never hurt her," he growled, stepping forward. Amelia laughed softly, almost mockingly. "Oh, I already have. And the best part, you can't stop it. Not this time." The night had grown darker, swallowing the city in shadows that seemed to stretch into infinity. Ava's mind was a whirlwind of fear, excitement, and confusion. Every heartbeat reminded her of the danger that still lingered, of the secrets Daniel had hinted at, and of the mysterious figure Amelia whose presence seemed to poison every moment of peace. Yet, in the chaos, there was Daniel. The warmth of his hands, the intensity of his gaze, and the unspoken promise in his touch anchored her. She could feel the electricity between them, stronger now than ever, heightened by the peril surrounding them. They ducked into a hidden alleyway, far from the prying eyes of the city streets. The neon lights from above painted the walls in a surreal mix of pinks and blues, making the shadows seem almost alive. Daniel pressed Ava against the wall, his lips brushing her ear. "We're not safe yet. Amelia won't stop until she gets what she wants. We have to move fast," he whispered, his breath warm against her skin. Ava nodded, feeling the adrenaline surge through her veins. Her heart pounded, not just from fear, but from desire. Their closeness was intoxicating. She could feel the firmness of his chest, the strength of his arms, the warmth of his body pressed against hers. They ran through the winding streets, narrowly avoiding the patrols Amelia had surely sent to track them. Every corner held a new threat, every shadow a potential ambush. Yet, through it all, their connection only deepened. At one point, Daniel grabbed her hand, spinning her into a passionate kiss that made the world around them disappear. Ava's fingers tangled in his hair as she pressed closer, her lips moving against his in a desperate, fiery rhythm. For a brief moment, the danger faded, leaving only the raw, consuming intensity of their love. But reality crashed back, with brutal force. A sudden shout echoed through the alley, and they froze. Amelia emerged, flanked by two masked men, holding a thick folder in her hands. "You can't run forever," she said, her voice laced with malice. "Every secret, every lie, every betrayal. It's all here, and soon, everyone will know." Daniel stepped in front of Ava, his body a protective shield. "You'll never hurt her," he growled, his jaw tight, eyes blazing with determination. Amelia laughed, a chilling sound that sent shivers down Ava's spine. "Oh, I already have. And the best part, you can't stop it." "Not this time." Ava's mind raced. What could Amelia possibly mean? What secrets did she hold that could ruin everything? But Daniel's presence gave her courage. She grabbed his hand, squeezing tightly. "We'll face it together," she whispered. Daniel nodded, pulling her into a brief, intense kiss. It was more than passionate, was reassurance. A silent vow that no matter what came next, they would not be torn apart. They needed a plan. Daniel led Ava to a hidden safe house, a small apartment tucked away above an abandoned shop. The space was modest, but it offered privacy and, for the moment, safety. As they caught their breath, Daniel spread the folder Amelia had left behind on the table. Ava leaned over, eyes widening as she scanned the contents. Photographs, documents, and letters, all exposing Daniel's family secrets, old mistakes, and betrayals. Ava felt a pang of sympathy for him. "You didn't deserve this," she whispered. Daniel's hands trembled slightly as he picked up a photograph of his brother, a shadow of regret crossing his face. "I never wanted her to get involved," he said, voice heavy with guilt. "I thought I could protect everyone. But I was wrong." Ava moved closer, placing a hand on his shoulder. "You can still fix this. We can still fight back. Together." Daniel looked into her eyes, seeing the unwavering trust and love reflected there. He pulled her into a long, passionate embrace, kissing her deeply. This time, their kiss was unrestrained, filled with longing, fear, and the undeniable heat of their connection. Ava's hands roamed his back, feeling every line, memorizing every curve. The moment was interrupted by the sudden sound of glass shattering in the apartment below. Daniel's eyes snapped open, and he moved toward the window, peering down into the darkened street. Two men, clearly on Amelia's side, were trying to break in. Ava's heart raced, but she didn't panic. She knew Daniel would protect her. And yet, the fear of losing him, more of the love they shared, being destroyed, made her stomach twist. Daniel grabbed her hand, leading her to the back exit. "We have to split up," he said. "It's the only way to survive and regroup." Ava shook her head. "I'm not leaving you. You have to," he insisted. "It's for both of our sakes. Trust me." The tension between them was unbearable. Their fingers lingered, the brush of skin electrifying. Then, in a fleeting, desperate moment, they kissed lips, locking in a promise that they would find each other again. As Ava disappeared into the shadows, Daniel faced the attackers alone. The fight was brutal. He moved with precision, using both skill and raw strength to fend off the men. Every punch, every maneuver was fueled by his love for Ava, his determination to survive and protect her at all costs. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, the men fled, leaving Daniel standing amidst the chaos, breathing heavily, bruised but unbroken. Back in the shadows, Ava watched from a distance, tears streaming down her face. The fear, the longing, and the love she felt were overwhelming. She whispered his name, her voice carried by the wind. "Daniel." He turned, meeting her gaze across the distance. In that instant, everything else faded: the danger, the secrets, the betrayal. There was only them. Only the undeniable, burning connection between two souls destined to fight for each other. The city slept under a veil of darkness, unaware of the storm that brewed within its shadows. Ava moved silently through the narrow alleys, her heart still pounding from the last encounter. Every step felt heavier than the last, her thoughts consumed by Daniel and the dangerous secrets Amelia now held over them. She had no choice but to keep moving. Each corner she turned, each shadow she passed, carried the possibility of discovery, of confrontation, of heartbreak. Yet, despite the fear, she felt a strange thrill. The danger made everything, every heartbeat, every glance, every touch, more intense, more real. Meanwhile, Daniel was in the safe house, reviewing the contents of Amelia's folder again. Each page was a dagger to his heart, revealing past misdeeds he had long buried, decisions that had hurt those he loved, and a scandalous family secret that could ruin everything. He ran his hands through his hair, frustration and guilt gnawing at him. "How did it come to this?" he muttered. "I thought I could keep her safe. I thought I could protect us." He paused, noticing a letter at the bottom of the folder. The handwriting was familiar: Elena, his estranged sister. The words in the letter twisted his stomach. "You've always thought you could hide the truth, Daniel. But some truths are stronger than love, stronger than fear. And now, the consequences are yours. Daniel clenched his fists, determination replacing despair. He had to confront the past, reveal the truth, and protect Ava. But how could he face his enemies while keeping her safe? Ava's journey led her to an abandoned rooftop, the city lights flickering like distant stars. She paused, breathing heavily, trying to calm the storm raging inside her. And then she saw him, Daniel, silhouetted against the night sky, his posture tense, his eyes scanning the horizon. Her heart skipped a beat. Relief, desire, and fear collided in a dizzying rush. She called his name softly. Daniel. He turned, his face breaking into a mixture of relief and longing. Ava, he whispered, closing the distance between them. His arms wrapped around her, and for a moment, the chaos of the world melted away. Their lips met. This time, not just a kiss, but a desperate claim. A promise that no matter what secrets, betrayals, or dangers came, they would face it together. But even in this moment of intimacy, danger lurked. From a nearby building, a shadowy figure watched them. Amelia, her expression twisted with fury and jealousy. She had underestimated Ava, underestimated the depth of their bond, and now, she was ready to unleash the next phase of her plan. Amelia's phone buzzed, and she answered with a wicked smile. "They're together," she whispered. "But this isn't over. Not by a long shot." Daniel and Ava found temporary refuge in a hidden warehouse, far from the city streets. The space was cold and empty, but it offered privacy and a chance to plan their next move. Ava sat close to Daniel, her fingers intertwined with his. "We can't let her win," she said softly, her voice trembling. "We have to fight. Together." Daniel nodded, placing a tender kiss on her forehead. "We will, I promise." Then he pulled out the folder again, determined to find a weakness in Amelia's plan. Each document, each photograph, each letter revealed more than they had expected: hidden alliances, bribes, and a network of manipulation that reached far beyond what they had imagined. As they pieced together the puzzle, their relationship deepened. Every touch, every glance, every whispered word reinforced their connection. The intimacy between them became both a comfort and a weapon against the chaos. Ava leaned against Daniel, feeling the steady beat of his heart, the warmth of his body, the undeniable power of their love. Their passion ignited once more, a fiery kiss that spoke of longing, desire, and a bond that refused to break. Ava pressed closer, her hands exploring, memorizing every contour, while Daniel's fingers traced the line of her back, holding her as if he could never let go. But the world outside was unforgiving. Amelia's plan was already in motion. Surveillance footage, intercepted communications, and planted evidence were all part of a scheme designed to separate them permanently. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed from the warehouse entrance. The masked men were back, more prepared and more ruthless than before. Daniel's eyes narrowed, and he pulled Ava behind him, ready to face the threat head-on. The fight was brutal, every punch and kick fueled by desperation and love. Daniel moved with precision, but the attackers were relentless. Ava, despite her fear, found courage within her, helping him fend off the men, throwing herself into the chaos with a fearless determination fueled by love. During a brief lull, Daniel pressed Ava to the ground, shielding her from a heavy blow. Their faces were inches apart, eyes locked, breaths mingling. "No matter what happens," he whispered, "I need you to know, I love you." Tears streamed down Ava's face as she responded, "I love you, too, more than anything." It was a moment of vulnerability, of raw emotion, of undeniable connection that neither danger nor betrayal could sever. But just as they thought they had survived, A new threat emerged. Amelia herself stepped into the warehouse, a dangerous smile on her lips, and in her hand, a small device, a tracking bomb, meant to ensure their destruction. Daniel's eyes widened. "Ava, get down." The ensuing struggle was tense and terrifying, the air thick with adrenaline. Every second felt like an eternity as they fought for survival, their love and trust tested to the extreme. Finally, in a daring move, Daniel managed to disarm the device, tossing it away as it exploded harmlessly against the wall. Amelia, furious and defeated for the moment, retreated, vowing revenge. Breathing heavily, Daniel and Ava collapsed into each other's arms, the adrenaline leaving them exhausted yet more connected than ever. The danger wasn't over, but for now, they had survived. Their bond stronger, their love more passionate, and their resolve unbreakable. The city lights flickered in the distance, but inside the abandoned mansion where Daniel had taken Ava for safety, darkness pressed in like a living thing. Every creak of the floorboards, every distant echo, seemed amplified in the tense silence. They were not just hiding, they were waiting. Waiting for Amelia, waiting for the inevitable reckoning that could tear them apart or finally bring them together. Ava clung to Daniel, her head resting against his chest. "Do you think she'll come?" she whispered, her voice trembling. Daniel held her tighter, feeling the steady beat of her heart, the warmth of her body pressed against his. "She will. And when she does, we'll face it, together." Even as he spoke those words, his mind raced through strategies, possible outcomes, and the secrets that Amelia had revealed. Nothing about this confrontation would be easy. Everything, every heartbeat, every decision could change their lives forever. Outside, Amelia paced, her mind a storm of anger and obsession. She had underestimated Ava's courage and Daniel's determination. But she had one final move, one secret that she had been keeping until the perfect moment. The moment was now. Her phone buzzed. A coded message. "They're together. Don't fail me now." Amelia smirked, a cold, calculating smile that didn't reach her eyes. They think they can outrun the past, but the past always catches up. Back in the mansion, Ava and Daniel went over their plans. Every window, every door, every potential hiding spot had been mapped out. Daniel's mind worked like clockwork, but even he couldn't ignore the tension that radiated from Ava. "Promise me," she said suddenly, gripping his hands, "that no matter what happens, you won't let her win." Daniel's eyes softened, and he kissed her forehead. "I promise, but it's not just about winning. It's about surviving, together." Their fingers intertwined, their eyes locked, and in that moment, nothing else existed. The fear, the danger, the secrets, all of it melted away, replaced by a fierce, unbreakable bond. Then, without warning, the sound of shattering glass split the air. Amelia had arrived. She stepped through the broken window, her silhouette framed by the moonlight, a dangerous beauty radiating malice. "You really thought you could hide from me?" she said, her voice a venomous whisper. "All of this, your love, your happiness, it ends tonight." Daniel moved in front of Ava, shielding her from Amelia's gaze. "It ends only if you let it," he replied, his voice calm but firm. Amelia laughed, a sound that sent chills down Ava's spine. "Oh, Daniel, still so naive. You can't fight what you don't understand." And with that, she pressed a button on a small device. Alarms blared, lights flickered, and a wall of holographic screens lit up. Displaying secrets Daniel had long tried to bury: family scandals, hidden financial misdeeds, and every private interaction he'd ever had with Ava. Ava gasped, stepping back, but Daniel pulled her close. "Look at me," he said. "Not the screens, not her. Me. Only me." The confrontation escalated quickly. Amelia lunged, Daniel dodged, and Ava found herself caught between fear and courage. She had trained herself in subtle combat moves, but nothing had prepared her for the intensity of this fight, not just physical, but emotional. Every glance from Amelia, every threat, every manipulation, reminded her of what was at stake. And yet, love was a powerful weapon. Ava felt a surge of strength, a protective, passionate energy that seemed to flow through her veins. She moved in sync with Daniel, creating a seamless rhythm of defense and counterattack. Amid the chaos, a single moment froze everything. Daniel and Ava's eyes met. No words, just unspoken promises. And then, as if the universe had paused, they kissed lips pressed together in a desperate, passionate union, reaffirming that no one, no secret, no threat could tear them apart. Amelia, furious and unrelenting, intensified her attacks. But in that moment of intimacy, Daniel and Ava found clarity. They understood that their bond, their love, was stronger than any scheme or secret. Daniel moved swiftly, grabbing Amelia's device and tossing it across the room. It exploded harmlessly against the wall. Sparks flew, but they were safe. Ava's hands rested on Daniel's chest, her breathing ragged. We did it," she whispered. Daniel pulled her close, kissing the top of her head. "We did, together." But the emotional storm wasn't over. Amelia, now cornered, tried one last desperate attempt. She revealed a truth that rocked Daniel to his core, something he had never anticipated. "Did you really think love could save you?" she spat. "Some truths, some betrayals, are too deep to escape." Daniel's face hardened. Love isn't just about the easy moments. It's about surviving the hardest ones. And we will. Together, Ava. Ava nodded, tears streaming down her face. "No matter what comes, Daniel, we fight for us." Amelia, defeated by their unbreakable bond, finally retreated. Her laughter echoed one last time before disappearing into the night, leaving Daniel and Ava alone. In the quiet aftermath, the city felt different, peaceful, almost surreal. Daniel and Ava sat on the rooftop, overlooking the skyline. Hands entwined, foreheads touching, hearts beating in sync. "I never thought we'd make it here," Ava whispered. "Not like this, not together." Daniel smiled softly, brushing a strand of hair from her face. Love always finds a way. Even in the darkest moments. They kissed again, slower this time, savoring the warmth, the intimacy, and the victory of having survived not just the threats around them, but the doubts and fears within. The night deepened, and the world outside continued unaware of the storm that had passed. But for Daniel and Ava, everything had changed. Their hearts had been tested, their love challenged, and their courage pushed to the limits. Yet, in the end, love had won. And as they looked out over the city, hands entwined, Daniel whispered softly, "No matter what comes next, I'll always choose you." Ava smiled, resting her head on his shoulder. "And I'll always choose you, Daniel."